Merhaba. O Mufi Bey. Topiği yazıyorum şuraya. Sabitleyeceğim. Arkadaşlar bugünkü yayın İngilizce olacak. Şimdi Esen'i de alıyorum. Hey girl.
Hey.
I'm just typing in the topics so we have that pinned.
Okay.
Oh, my grandma's here.
All right. I'm excited. Oh,
Oh, Vicus is here.
all my
Okay.
fans are here.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna pin this. Oops. Pin comment. Yes.
Okay.
What's what time is it in San Francisco right
It's
now?
just 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you so much for
Of
waking up so
course.
early to
I
talk
woke up
about
at
a diet.
7. Exactly. Anything for you,
Thank you so
Valerie.
much. So, for those of you who are just joining us, Esen is a close friend of mine, and she's also a registered dietitian, and she's based in San Francisco. And we actually worked on a few articles together
You
previously
did.
for Vogue, yeah. And
Yeah.
she has some great opinions on plant-based diets, but today we're gonna talk about something completely different. But Esen, why don't you just like tell us
Take it away.
about a bit
Yeah.
about yourself?
Okay. So I live in San Francisco. I'm Turkish, but because I was born and raised in the States, I feel more comfortable in English. Türkçe konuşuyorum ama İngilizcem daha iyi. So we're going to do the interview in English. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I did my undergrad in something totally different at USC.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found myself really interested in disease prevention through diet. What foods can we eat to optimize our health?
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up going back to school. I went to NYU, which was my dream to study in New York. I did a program that combined a post-bac with a master's in nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a few years because there were a ton of
Yeah.
science classes. That wasn't exactly my strong suit. And then to become an RD, which is the title, registered dietitian,
Mm-hmm.
you also need to do a year of a training program. And so I matched to a program in New Orleans at Tulane. So for a year, I studied there. And then I worked for a while in the Bay Area at a skilled nursing facility
Mm-hmm.
as an in-house dietitian. And now I'm doing my own thing. I've launched my private practice. You can message me on Eat with Esen.
Yeah.
I'm taking clients on. I haven't launched my website just yet, but yeah, and I'm into all things weight loss, diet,
Yeah.
but also the side of it, I have had my own weight struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, this body positive movement is really something I'm very passionate about, which is the
Mm-hmm.
idea that
Yeah.
all bodies, all sizes, all shapes should be respected. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need to be thin. You can live your best life and be thriving at, a larger size, and that you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell if someone's healthy by looking at a
Yeah.
really thin woman. You have no idea. So
It's very
anyway,
personal. It's always very
yeah.
personal.
So these
And
are some
and
of the
I mean, I
love
always,
talking about this. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's today we're gonna talk about obviously, as I put there, the Sirtfood diet. I actually had to call Sam to make sure I pronounced it correctly because I've never said that word in English before in my life.
Me either.
Sirtfood diet.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's an interesting topic, not just because it's like a new diet that we've been, like bombarded with through media, but it's just
Yeah.
interesting to talk about, to understand all these reactions that we've been seeing about her weight loss, because I felt like
Yeah.
everyone expressed some sort of opinion. Like
Yeah.
they either judged her or they were proud of her, or like, there was like so many reactions. And I think it's usually more often that we see these reactions when it's a woman celebrity, female
100%.
celebrity who's lost weight.
Totally.
And we're gonna get to that. But yeah, also
I mean,
yeah,
has
I'll
this,
get back to that bike.
haven't
Yeah.
you got, this is just what we go through as women. Have you ever lost weight or gained weight and people around you suddenly feel like they're able to have an opinion on it? I mean, you know, it's your body. You're the one who lives in this body. And then
Yeah.
people come to you. Turkish people love to do this. Sorry, you know, all people love to do this. Oh, you know what? You looked better with a little more weight. Blah blah blah. I mean, who asked you,
I
right?
think
Like,
like I always like also judge myself, like criticize myself, because I think there's like in Turkey there's this understanding, this like non-spoken understanding. When you see someone, you're supposed to say something, and if they're looking slightly, you know, better than you remember them previously, you're inclined to say like, "Have you lost weight?" You know,
yeah.
it's like, and I
I
find
know.
myself doing it, and I try to stop myself because it's not healthy. Because you know, sometimes, you know, I gain a few pounds and because I've been feeling like not well, like psychologically, and like just don't ask me why, you know.
Yeah. But you know, it's not your fault. Like, that's one thing that I've realized. I used to get really angry. I've gotten, every time I would go to Turkey, I would get comments whether I lost or gained. We're all a product of this society that we live in, right? That tells
Yeah,
us thin is better.
yeah,
So, I mean, I feel like you can't even really blame people. We're the same age about our
yeah,
society, our generation is starting to learn, you know, that all sizes are respected and matter, and that weight isn't the end all be all, and that it's, you know, rude to make comments like that. But
yeah.
our moms, our grandmothers, you know, you can't. Anyway,
Also, I mean, we're gonna get back to this, but also
yeah,
I want to ask you, like, if you don't say something and if you thought of it,
yeah,
it's still there. It's like, how do you change the thought, this thought pattern? You know, it's not
yes,
about just saying it out loud, you know.
yes, I agree. But at the same time, I mean, we're human and we're flawed, right? I mean, think about when you get in a fight with your friend. Maybe you have certain thoughts, but you don't say all of them.
Yeah,
So you're not, it's not the same level of
yeah,
evil because you had, you know, you have these thoughts. And
yeah.
part of, you know, trying to progress and be a better person is
Hmm.
controlling those, you know, your actions are.
Yeah, I agree. So let's start with the diet itself.
Yeah,
So what is the
the diet.
Sirtfood Diet?
Yeah.
What does Sirt even mean? So what
So
are we talking
yeah,
about here? For
I
and
I
for those
had
of us, for those of you who are just joining us, Sirtfood Diet is linked. I mean, the internet says that's how Adele lost the 45 kilograms. So this is why we're like talking about it, because everyone's been talking about her before and after.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said before, I have a master's in nutrition, and I'd
Mhm.
never heard of the Sirt diet or Sirtuins before.
How?
So I mean,
Wow.
you know, I looked it up. It turns out that these are a gene that we all have, that are
Mhm.
present in certain foods. That
Mhm.
when you eat those foods, it activates this gene, which helps.
Mhm.
They call activates the skinny gene. Put a footnote there because whenever I hear this word skinny gene, it drives me crazy. And it helps protect muscle mass and prevents diseases.
Okay.
So they make all these lofty, very large claims about
Mhm.
these sirtuins that are in certain foods, which I'm going to mention in a minute.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, this stuff is really complicated. I'm taking a class at Stanford right now. The
Mhm.
professor has a PhD in metabolism. He's spending his whole life researching metabolism, and he talks a lot about his own weight struggles and stuff. If it were as easy as there's a skinny gene, eat kale and you'll lose weight, you know,
Yeah.
wouldn't we all be doing it? Also, people would try one diet, this diet or whatever,
Yeah.
lose weight and never deal with it again.
It
So
sounds like the best diet. You eat
yeah,
chocolate
yeah,
and, you know.
yeah. This exactly. That's another thing. So, you know, you can't sell a diet book that's already been written. You need to come up with something new and novel. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
what's the Sirt diet? Adele's doing this. I mean, you know, I looked into it, and we can
Mhm.
talk a little bit more about it. One of the things they say is eat red wine, drink red wine, and eat chocolate and lose weight.
That's what I always say.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great, right? But one of the things I love to say is it's in the dosage, right? So,
Mhm.
one glass of red wine in evening, it has antioxidants, it's heart healthy, great. A bottle, not great, not going to help you lose weight. Same with chocolate. They say dark chocolate, you know, I didn't look at how much, but I think, you know, if you're eating Oreos because they have chocolate in it, you're not really following the diet, and that's not going to
Yeah.
help you lose weight. So the foods on the list, one of the things that was, so, okay, are these foods healthy on this list? Yes. If you follow this diet, will you lose weight? Yes, probably. Because, first of all, there are only 20 foods on this list, okay?
So what are they?
They are, I have them here.
Yeah.
Kale, strawberries, in addition to chocolate and red wine, soy, parsley, extra virgin olive oil, matcha green tea, buckwheat, turmeric, walnuts, arugula, medjool dates, like our Turkish dates, blueberries, capers, and coffee. Okay.
That sounds like a very woke list.
Dude, two of them are fluids, coffee and red wine, right?
Yeah.
Olive oil, parsley, walnuts, and capers are not really foods. They're more like used as condiments, right? So really you're left with kale, strawberries, buckwheat. I mean, it's
very limited.
Have you done a diet, Valerie? Like,
yeah, many times.
After how many days are you like, I can't eat this grilled chicken breast or this blah, blah, blah anymore?
Like in a month, like I'm done. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the things that these are healthy foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think anyone's gaining weight eating kale, but is this sustainable? So one of the things these guys say is they did a study on 40 people and people lost 7 pounds in a week. Okay.
Okay.
Where are we 6 months from then? What about a year later?
Yeah.
What about 5 years later?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing where, do you see how excited I am?
Yeah. So
anyway, I mean,
so maybe this can be, it's like, it could be a healthier approach to this diet if maybe this was done for like a week or like 2 weeks, like for a limited amount of time.
Yeah, totally. I mean, all diets work. You know, you're restricting the foods you can eat. Yeah. This is a calorie controlled diet. So one of the things that was really scary to me, because I know better, is that apparently for this diet, the first 3 days, you only have 1,000 calories.
So like tell us, what is 1,000 calories? Like what would I eat to have eaten 1,000 calories?
So in their diet, they do 2 green juices.
Okay.
Which I could go on forever about juices. I mean, you get micronutrients and stuff, but when you juice something, you take away the fibers. So you take away what's actually making you full. If you're doing a green juice, it's good, but you know, and that's what they say to do. But when you put a lot of fruit in it, it's, you know, can raise your blood sugars and stuff. So they do 2 juices, which can be anywhere from 100 to 300 calories, depending on, you know, how much you're putting in there.
Okay.
And then they do 1 meal in the evening. So I'm getting
that's all.
Meal. Yeah, that's all.
For how many days is this?
For a week. No, 3 days.
Okay.
And then you move up to 1,500 calories.
So like you add like 2 more juices.
Yeah. Or I think what they do is you actually then have lunch as one of the meals as well. Okay. So, I mean.
So, and after this, like this first week of 1,000 and 1,500 calories, what do you move on to in the Sirtfood diet?
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't spend too much time looking into it because I was kind of frustrated with it. But then they say that you move into like just eating only these foods for 3 meals a day. And that's your like, you know, long-term plan or whatever.
That's insane.
So,
but I mean, and how did you read online like how Adele approached this diet, like how she did this diet? Was there an info on that?
No, I wasn't able to find, like, I found how many million, I think I found like 50 million you know, website things for Adele weight loss. But when I actually looked at Adele nutritionist, Sirtfood Diet, I wasn't able to find exactly what she was doing. I do remember that, you know, I think seems like, we don't know, right? But it seems like she's been on this weight loss journey for a while. I remember that there was a quote attributed to her because, you know, we feel like we know her from her songs and she's gone through heartbreak and stuff. There was someone had asked her how she had not this much. And she said, you know, I used to cry and now I sweat, right? I don't know if you heard that, but I mean, this is, you know, when it comes to Adele losing weight on this diet, first of all, I want to say, who did someone pay her to do this diet? Because it's great advertisement.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And then it got a little blurry for me. I love my sister saying, because I feel like you have an amazing secret. You want to shout from rooftops. I mean, you know, we don't know what she did. It's a huge amount of weight to lose. Weight loss is very hard. I think we need to remember that she has all the, help in the world, probably. She can
Yeah, I mean,
afford
she's
dietitians
freaking
and
Adele.
trainers.
Yeah.
Exactly. But, I mean, and I hate to, maybe she got surgery.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
possible. Yeah, we
We
don't
don't
know.
know. And is that bad? I don't think so. Like we were talking about this writer named Roxane Gay, who I love, who
Yeah.
wrote this book called Hunger,
Hmm.
and is a very large woman. She was 500 pounds, 600 pounds or something. And she talks about struggling her whole life and how hard it is not being able to fit into our society.
Hmm.
People pointing at her, laughing, all this stuff. And
Yeah.
she got gastric bypass. Okay. And
Yeah, there's
she
no
was
shame in that. Yeah.
she didn't tell anyone. She was so afraid of, and we talk about this a lot, right? This whole, what we were saying, the weight shaming. I mean, getting that surgery is not the easy way out. You have to follow for the rest of your
Yeah.
life a really restrictive diet. It's
Hmm.
very easy because you're eating so little to get deficiencies. So they have to take a ton of vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, because you have this, at least with gradual weight loss, you're learning and you're adjusting slowly and making tweaks, right?
Hmm.
What scares me and what I've seen from, working with patients before, I did an internship at a bariatric clinic with these patients in
Hmm.
New Orleans, because it's literally overnight,
Yeah.
it's a huge loss. And
And
a
it's
lot of
huge
them,
trauma on your body,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And also the psychological. I mean, I don't believe that anyone gets to 600 pounds without having some issues around why we eat and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these people become alcoholics after, because you take away their ability to, soothe with food or whatever. Anyway, so, but back to Adele.
No, yeah. I mean,
Um,
even if Adele did get a gastric bypass surgery, like that doesn't necessarily make her, make her struggle easier. That's like,
totally.
it's not like saying, it's not like saying like you chose the easy way out. It's not an easy way out. It's a
Yeah.
freaking surgery.
What did you think when you saw the pictures?
What did I think? You know what I thought? Like, I said like, hallelujah, girl,
Yeah,
I was like, I'm pretty sure she feels great about herself. And like
yeah,
I think that's the only thing I, try to judge about a person when I look at a person. It doesn't matter like what her weight
yeah,
is. I
yeah.
just want to see whether she looks happy or not,
And she does, right?
And
Yeah,
she
she
looks
looks really
really
happy.
happy. So I
Yeah,
mean that's why I said like kudos to you. And like I'm also a Taurus. So
yeah,
are you. So is
yeah.
Adele. It's a Taurus party today. And I have to admit, like, I'm really bad when it comes to snacking and eating food. Like, food is my life. Like, I'm looking at all these diets. So, like, I've been reading about the Sirtfood Diet. I look at it,
Yeah,
I'm like, how? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
Like, to me, it's like it's not possible for me to understand.
yeah,
So when I look at someone, I can understand, especially a Taurus, how
yeah,
hard it is to like go through with this. So I was like, I respect you. That's what you chose to do with your body. Like I'm not gonna judge. Who am
totally.
I to judge?
Yeah, it's not easy. I'm a Taurus too, right? We love our food. We love our wine. We love our creature comforts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's probably been through a huge journey. I have to say, I do think it's a little funny to, not that she owes us anything, but to
Yeah.
post that photo with the
Yeah.
caption that says, support our essential workers.
Yeah. That
Girl,
photo is
like,
not about that.
come on. Yeah. Like, what's going to be in those comments, right? So I don't know. I think she doesn't owe anyone anything, but
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of power in coming out and saying, hey, I hated being this weight and I worked so freaking hard for this and I lost weight and I'm proud of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's an important, like, it's a big like transformation for her because I feel like, first of all, because when we first knew her, she was, more like she was overweight.
Yeah.
That's like how we knew her. She was like the singer who had like this beautiful voice, But she was, you know, on the chubbier side, but she was
with the
still
beautiful
beautiful.
face.
Yeah, that's how we knew her. So like now it's like a completely different person. I think that's why people are a bit like inclined to, you know, comment, you know?
Yeah. And my sister says maybe she doesn't believe it will stick yet. Yeah. I mean, I think there's that. Also, I think, you know, we talked about this, right? The comments. Like, I think there's a part of, for example, I lost some weight like a year ago. And when I was heavier, I was really about embracing the body positive movement. And I still am. And there's a part of me now that sort of feels like I fit into straight sizes. We call straight sizes the size you can get at stores, right? So, am I allowed to come out and talk about these issues when I'm not someone who's dealing with the issues that these other people are dealing with, right? So even within the weight, you know, body positive movement, there's all these arguments about, well, they say they call it small fat is what they call someone who's like 12, 14, right? So, you know, there's all these wars about, you know, you go and look in the comments of Adele's, and on the one hand, people are saying, you know, how could you do this? You know, you were a champion for larger ladies. On the other hand, people are saying, don't lose any more weight or whatever. Like, everyone has an opinion on it. And I think that, you know, representation matters, right? So this is something that's really, you want to look on TV or look on, you know, in the music, whatever. You want to see someone who looks like you. I mean, my sister, someone mentioned Lizzo. Like, why do we love Lizzo? Because she's confident AF, right? Also a Taurus. And, you know, she's saying, this is my body. She doesn't apologize for it. And that's a beautiful thing, especially when, I mean, we have to remember, we watch these shows, whatever, 90% of those people are not the size of, at least of most of America. I mean, the average size, 2/3 of people in America are overweight. Of those 2/3, 1/3 are obese, which that word is kind of, but so, you know, we want to have people that look, we want to look at them and say, wow, look, Adele looks amazing. Look at that outfit. She's winning Grammys. She doesn't care about her weight. So that when they lose weight, you know, we feel a little abandoned, I think.
Is it like perhaps like, you know, she had like all these amazing qualities about her, but then she had this like flaw, like this physical flaw, let's say, of like being overweight, and then like suddenly she's perfect, you know, almost perfect. And then maybe, I mean, it's not like something people say out loud, but like deep down, people feel like threatened by like that kind of like flawlessness, you know, it's too much, like, you know, to some people who are, you know, struggling with their personal images or already have like, you know, like some weight shaming issues, you know, who are already like dealing with that.
Yeah. And, you know, I think what's hard too, I totally agree with you. And also we have to remember most people will not be able to do what she did. And I think that's really, people feel, and that's another reason why they feel threatened and why it's difficult to see, because if you've tried, you know, 5% of people are able to keep the weight off long term. And we consider long term longer than 5 years.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that weight loss isn't possible. It is, you know, but we want to see, is it sustainable? Have you kept it off for life? Or are you yo-yoing, right? So first of all, we don't know where she's going to be in 5 years, right? And second of all, I think, you know, it's sort of almost like hurtful for people who have tried so many. What if you tried the Sirtfood Diet and it didn't work and you couldn't lose weight, and you look at her but you know, we have to remember, one of the things that's annoying and hard is like, weight is physical. It's public. You wear it on the outside, right? So that allows people to comment on it. And it's also something that we feel like, you know, we can share with her. Maybe you won't have her Grammys or her money, but you can do the same diet and lose the same weight, right? So,
and I actually want to like point something out. When celebrities, you know, go through a big, you know, transformation, like a physical transformation, and there's this diet that's attributed to that weight loss, I think the best thing, I know it can't be easy, but the best thing for a celebrity to do would be to come out and say exactly what they've done. You know, if they had like a gastric bypass surgery, say that, or like if they had like a trainer at home, like coming like 10 times like in 1 week, just say that, because like
Yeah.
it's not, you know, if I just start doing the Sirtfood diet and the results are not the same because I'm not like, I don't have Adele's life and resources, it's not realistic. So I think that would be like a good, you know, place to start this, you know, conversation around the change of weight, you know?
That would be great. I agree. But I think that why is for some like weight loss, trying to lose weight, and maybe it has to do with the feminist movement or something. I just read this book about this, but it's like for the longest time, it has been sort of shameful. People will be on a diet, but you know, say, "Oh yeah, I'm just trying to be healthy," or you worked in magazines. We both worked in magazines. How many times would you get excited? I would get so excited when I was younger, and I would see, like, read an interview with Sienna Miller. I'll never forget. And they talked about her eating this big plate of bolognese pasta, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, Sienna eats pasta? You don't know what she ate. She probably didn't eat. She probably, who knows? Maybe she didn't eat for 3 days before that, right?
Maybe she has the skinny jeans, you know?
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, it's supposed to seem effortless, and it's not effortless for anyone that has tried it. So, and you know, it is for some people. I mean, we all have that one friend that seems like they eat whatever they want, right? But for some reason, and I think that there's a lot of power in, like, that's why, I don't know if you know Busy Phillips, but I love her. She, you know, talks about how hard it is for her to stay at the weight she is, how many workout classes she does. And so I think there is transparency.
She's very real.
Yeah, I think it's nice to be open about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and then
I totally
people can
agree.
make their choices. You know, if someone comes out and they say I'm this thin because I eat, you know, 2 salads and I don't eat breakfast and I thought, then you can make that decision on whether that's something that's possible for you.
Yeah, but going back to the Sirtfood diet, do you think it's something people can, because I know a lot of friends of mine right now, I mean, we've all gained, you know, quarantine weight. And
15,
you know, I was like talking to a friend the other day and I told her like this summer I'll be, you know, dieting and I'll be like getting ready for next winter because, you know, the summer's already lost. But I mean, I know a lot of people are, you know, wanting to try, you know, some new diets. And do you think the Sirtfood diet is something that could be tried without going to a registered dietitian?
Yes, I do. I mean, I haven't read that much into it, so I can't, you know, I didn't read the book, for example, so I can't say. My sister says, I don't get, what do you eat? The foods that you eat, sister, is red wine, chocolate, kale, walnuts, extra virgin olive oil, soy, parsley, dates, and there's a few more I'm forgetting.
So no proteins.
No, so you eat, that's what I was confused about too. You do eat animal protein, but this is the list that I found everywhere. So I don't understand, you know, I think you do eat animal proteins. I think the main thing is you're not eating a lot of refined carbs or starchy foods. I'm guessing that, you know, you're not eating potatoes and pasta and crackers and stuff. So it seems like it's just a lot of plant foods plus red wine and chocolate. You asked me if I think that, you know, someone can follow this without a dietitian. Yeah, I think they lay it out in the book and they, you know, have a website. So I think it would be possible. But like I said before, this seems really restrictive to me. And, you know, if you're doing it for 2 weeks or something or a month, I think maybe, you know, it's doable. But I don't understand. So can you not have red bell peppers? Can you not have tomatoes? Can you not have romaine lettuce? These are for things that, you know, can you not have brown rice? I guess not, because they're not on this list. So,
I'm looking right now. It just says, like, for example, like week 1, like you said, like first 1,000 calories a day, and then eat 1 Sirtfood rich meal a day. And the second week, it's 1,500, and then you just eat 2 Sirtfood rich meals a day. So it's very difficult.
So I think putting the red wine and things.
I think so.
For sure, 100%.
But guys, there's like a book written on this, so there must be, like, you know.
Well, and the guys that wrote the book have masters in nutrition. One's a pharmacist. They both have masters in nutrition.
It's dated 2016. It's written by Aidan Goggins and Glenn Matten.
I think you know, if you want to do a diet to lose, so first of all, I think we need to be compassionate with ourselves and recognize that this period has been so interesting for me in terms of watching people, like I've always dealt with my weight, and that's why I went into this industry. And I've been at home a lot because I haven't been working and working on my practice and stuff before the quarantine. So for me, it's been really interesting to see everyone. If I had, you know, $1 for every time I got a message from one of my friends or something saying, help me, I'm eating all day long in quarantine, I've gained so much weight, I don't know how to stop eating. I mean, I would have $20. I wouldn't have that much money, but but like people seem to be freaking out, and I think it shows a few things. One is, if we're not able to be at home around food without eating all day, then that makes me a little nervous. But at the same time, I think we have to recognize that stress does things to people's appetites, right?
Yeah.
Uncertainty makes us want to eat. We have a lot of triggers right now that we aren't normally dealing with. I think we need to be, you know, when people come to, if you're worried about, Valerie, you're worried about the weight, you look amazing, obviously. And also like, I mean, if you want to lose it, you'll lose it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I just sort of feel like we're going through this like crazy thing right now, and everyone's really, it also might be because weight is something we can control, you know, maybe it makes us feel like,
I mean, or is it? Because I feel like my, you know, stress eating during this quarantine is not something, you know, I could not control. It's not, it's totally out of my control. It's what like I crave. I just like walk to the fridge, like I don't care. But like today, like I woke up, I was like, okay, maybe I do need to start caring.
I mean, weight is so complicated. I don't know.
But I think the thing with these, you know, keto diet, like, you know, intermittent fasting, short food diet, the thing with it is that it just gives you a guideline, healthy or not, you know, I don't know if it's, you know, good for you or not. It just gives you a guideline. So like when you have a list of like things to eat, sometimes it makes your life easier. So I think that's why like people are just, you know, like especially now really leaning towards these, you know, diet. And I actually have a friend who started doing the Sirtfood Diet last week. She told me she's starting her second week, and she wrote a question. She's not consuming any animal-based products during this diet, so and she's doing a lot of body weight exercise at home. And what are your thoughts on protein powders?
I don't love protein powders or supplements. I think if you can get it from food, I much prefer that. There's, you know, some evidence that there can be harmful toxins in some of these protein powders, that, you know, arsenic and stuff like that. When it comes to taking vitamins, I also prefer you to get them from food, like whether it's, you know, everyone has been trying to take vitamin C because they, you know, thought it would help with keeping your immune system strong during coronavirus and stuff. I mean, it's really not that hard to get a lot of vitamin C from your food because it's in fruits and vegetables. So if you eat like a big salad or, you know, a couple of mandarin oranges or something, you can get it. You know, you can get toxicity with some vitamins when you take too much of them, mainly the fat soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. Those ones can build up in your fat. Ones like B and stuff, you just pee out or whatever. But back to supplements. I mean, look, in a pinch, if you're rushing around and you know, worked out and you're starving, you're not going to have dinner until 5 hours later, sure, have a protein shake. But throw 2 hard-boiled eggs in your purse. Well, I guess you don't want to keep them in your purse. They'll smell it. But some eggs, you know, that you had or something, like that's a much better snack. And I always prefer real foods with one caveat. I mean, obviously, if you're doing, there's certain diets and certain people, always consult your doctor. I eat a plant-based diet. So one of the things that actually omnivores as well tend to be deficient in something called B12, which is one of the vitamins. So I take that in supplement form, but then it's also in something called nutritional yeast, which I eat a lot of. So, I mean, supplements, maybe people want to just kind of, I don't know what you would call it, like hack nutrition, right? They're like, oh, I make this smoothie and I throw this and this and this and this in, and I get everything that I need.
It's not possible, right?
Also, I don't want you eating all the same foods every day. That's one of the things I tell my clients is like, for your, now everyone loves the gut, talking about the gut now, right? Gut bacteria, keeping you healthy, helping you lose weight. Your gut needs a large variety of plant foods to thrive. So that's why, you know, I'll see people on a diet and they're eating the same salad every day because they feel good, because they can control, you know, they know exactly how many calories is in it. Okay, but I want you to branch out. Try a different vegetable this week that you haven't tried before or something. So yeah, just some.
Yeah. So probably like try not to, Damla, try not to, you know, really just focus on protein powders. Yeah. And
I would ask her, I need to know more, you know, so I would ask Damla, is your friend's name. I mean, is she drinking this because she doesn't like to cook? Is she drinking this because she thinks it's healthier than food? Is she, you know, a mom with 3 kids and she's rushed? And I need to know more about, again, this goes back to the thing of sustainability, fitting it into your life. You know, I think I already said this, but the best diet is the one you can follow, right?
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Do you want to, people say, should I do keto? I don't know. Do you like eating a lot of fat? Because that's keto, which also drives me crazy because half the people that are doing keto are actually doing Atkins. And so they're not doing it correctly. Or if you're doing plant-based or whatever, you're going to want to eat a lot of vegetables. So
so it just depends on the personal story. And she says, I'm having difficulties to get enough protein from plant-based products.
Oh my gosh, this is one of my
in Turkey it's tougher. So
yes, I mean, I don't I can, you know, send her a message. If she messages me, I can help her with that. That's one of the things I'm really passionate about. I mean, first of all, there's a lot of people that say we don't need as much protein as we think we do. All foods have protein. Vegetables have protein. Fruits have protein. Whole grains have protein. I have a bread in my fridge that has 5 grams of protein. Again, you probably can't, maybe you can't find that in Turkey, but beans are a great source of plant-based protein. Tofu, tempeh, soy products. Yesterday I got 80 grams of protein, and I'm not using supplements and stuff. So I think maybe I'll put, maybe I can put a thing on my Eat with Esen that's just from foods that you can find in Turkey, getting the amount of protein that you need.
That'd be great, actually, because
I mean, it's not impossible. You know, think about, there's vegan athletes all over the world that are getting plenty of protein. I think that there's a little bit too much of an emphasis on protein at the detriment, for example, of fiber. I love to talk about fiber. Fiber is in plant foods. Fiber is what bulks your stool. It keeps you regular, and
so it's good for the gut as well.
Yeah, good for the gut. Your gut loves fiber. And who's that? I guess I can get what that means. So fiber foods are good. And, you know, because you can't digest fiber, it's sort of like a free food, you know, it just goes straight through your body. But anyway, but for Damla's question, you know, I would tell her maybe I can link her to some, like I'll share some on my Instagram, some like people who are doing this properly and able to get their protein from plant foods. There's people all over the world who happen to eat 80% plant-based diets. You know, you look at places, a lot of the blue zones, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Those are the places in the world where people are longest lived. Yeah. So like Crete and Okinawa, Japan and stuff like that. Yeah, lentils. Lentils are full of protein and fiber. Actually, my professor at Stanford, who the one I mentioned, who's a metabolism researcher, he works with some Muslim athletes who are fasting during Ramadan, and he said in order to help them not lose their muscle mass while they're fasting, he has them eat a big pile of lentils at Sahur, like you know, in the morning, and that you know, because lentils keep you full for so long, and
it's a great source of plant protein. I'm just looking at the comments here.
Did we talk about,
let's see, I actually want to go back to weight shaming a little bit, because it's a big part of body positivity, and I think like people have really misunderstood body positivity, like to a certain extent. People have thought that, and coming back to actually Balkıs's question, whether it's common in Turkey. I tried while I was working at Vogue. I tried my best, like, to write articles like on this, and like it's I tried my best, like, personally to not use retouched photos, blah blah blah. It's not very common still. It's not like something people really understand, but it's I mean, they do understand it, but it's just in like a small like group of people. But I think like globally, even like in the United States, like there's been like this idea that body positivity is just saying like, okay, like if you're overweight, like that's also cool. That's not that, you know. You can be thin and still struggling with your image, and it's not about the weight, really.
Totally
What do you
agree.
think about that?
Wait, what's your question? The idea.
So what do you think about the idea that body positivity is not just saying, okay, like we'll have like overweight people in our shoots, it's not just that. It's not that oversimplified.
Totally agree. I mean, weight issues don't discriminate. I get messages from people who don't appear outwardly to look like someone who would struggle with their size, who are saying, I've been tormented my whole life or whatever. I mean, I think that we need to let people be wherever they want to be. What is my sister? Because they think, well, one of the things, I mean, it's just like I've gotten comments before. My mom has this thing. She says, that's not becoming. Like, it doesn't look great on you. She'll say when something, I like to wear the things that I want to wear. I want to wear crazy outfits or crazy patterns or whatever. And this is another thing. My sister's commenting.
Yeah, it's true.
I was, in larger, I didn't fit into straight sizes like a year ago. This drove me crazy, Valerie, because I'm confident, okay? Tauruses are like, we're pretty confident, the Lizzo thing. I would go to stores and they wouldn't have my sizes. And I would say, I have money to spend. And it was like a Julia Roberts moment. I wanted to come back with all my fads and be like, big mistake,
Your pretty woman moment.
But I mean, I agree. I get what you're saying about the body positive thing. I think, everyone can struggle with this problem. And I don't know. I don't know
I mean, I also agree. I mean, I know what Belkıs is talking about, like certain like brands, like especially in Turkey when you're shopping for like wedding season, you go to these stores and you want to get a dress, but they only bring it in like size 0, size 2, size 4. And if you're lucky, they bring it in a size 6, which is a 38. And like 38 is like, when I'm thin. So
and totally. So what are they saying to you? They're essentially saying to you, we don't want you here. We don't want your business, right? That's what they're saying when they don't have those sizes. I mean, this is something that I'm really passionate about, because everyone deserves to have beautiful clothes in their sizes. And like the fact to me that in America, I mean, again, I was on the smaller, there are people who go up to, size 40 or whatever, American, 40, whatever it is. You should be able to find clothes like, to feel like you don't. So that's what makes being a heavier weight so hard. And that's why this movement exists, because you're essentially not, allowed to be involved. It's like heavier women don't like to dress sexy and wear cool clothes. Of course they do.
Also, there's something like something called like body type. Even if you're, for example, not like overweight, like you have like a larger like bone structure, and like you won't fit in a certain size, and like, or like you have like larger hips and like tighter narrower shoulders. It's just like
totally, bodies are different. We have a separate body mass index used for Asian people because their bones are smaller. One of my favorite anecdotes is that I think it was like in the Fiji Islands or something, they're generally larger people. When Melrose Place started airing there, one of these like 90210 type of TV shows, people saw Heather Locklear, and eating disorder skyrocketed apparently. So people come in different shapes and sizes. Media is a huge problem in telling us, like, and now Instagram's one of these things, right? We look at this and we see these people, and one of the things that drives me crazy is when these women who are so slim and have never had a weight problem are writing like what diet they do and stuff. I'm like, I mean, I prefer, this is why I think I'm an empathetic and understanding dietitian.
Yeah.
I've been there. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want diet advice from someone who has never been larger than a size 2. Is this might be body shaming, what I'm doing right now, you know? But I think, you know, if someone doesn't understand, if they haven't had that struggle, then I think it's really easy to, and I've, you know, heard a lot of people saying this too, that like you'll go to a dietitian and they'll say, well, just don't eat that then, or just eat this or that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they haven't been, you know, in the fridge at 3 a.m. eating the ice cream like you have,
they don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think I agree. You know, I think the body positive thing, I think this tends to happen. We swing them too far in the other direction now, right? Like, I think now we're at this place where you can't even, like, so I posted my own little transformation the other day because we were talking about this. And
it's really great. Proud of you.
But thank you. And I'm proud of that, you know, and I think that should be okay. And my best friend's husband, we were on FaceTime, and he said, I saw the picture, you look great. Wait, is that okay to say? So, you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah, let's talk about the how. Like, do you react to someone who's had a transformation other than Adele? Because I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna like go see Adele in the street. So
yeah, I think you shouldn't say anything is my belief.
But what if the transformation is as drastic as Adele's, and then you see the person like in a year and they're like completely different. It's weird if you don't say something, no?
Okay, but within reason, right? So I was at one of my best friend's weddings. It was probably like 1 a.m. I'm in the bathroom, and one of my mom's friends says, I run into her, I'm a little drunk, you know, we're partying, and she's like, oh, like, you look really chubby.
What?
Contact.
Okay, maybe she was also drunk.
Probably.
Yeah.
She probably was shocked, but when she saw me, you know, because I had like was larger than when she had last seen me. Not the place, lady. Like, also, I don't know you like that. So this is the thing in Turkey. Like, you know, my sister and I have all these funny anecdotes because we both dealt with our weight about the bakkal guy, you know, the guy at the what's it called, bodega, like commenting. So if this is your friend and you haven't seen them for a while and they gained or lost a lot of weight, I think it's very natural to think, you know, something maybe Turkish families. That's my cousin. And you can, you know, there's a way to do it. If it's your friend, I would bring them aside. Hey, you look a little different. How are you? Are you okay? Like, is everything, you know? I mean, I think I have friends who have done things like that to me before. I got really, really thin at one point in my life when my father was sick. And so, you know, and I remember people saying, I was heartbroken, and people would say, don't gain 1 pound. You look amazing. You know? So,
but I feel like shit.
Exactly. So I think we can't assume, I think we also have to get rid of this narrative of larger bodies are unhealthy. This is something that I also feel strongly about, because we know that a certain amount of like being in a middle overweight, sort of not very obese, but not very thin, lives longer. There's actually some research on that. Just like, you know, 10, 20 pounds overweight.
So Lizzo will live forever.
Yeah, totally. If you're little bit extra, you know, can be protected. And that can be for a number of reasons. It could be because slimmer people perhaps they're smoking to manage their weight, or it can be because slimmer people have another issue, whether they're dealing with cancer or an autoimmune illness or something that is making them thinner. So, you know, I don't think it's black and white. You know, I worked with very large people, you know, I don't like the word fat that much, but in New Orleans, because of this, Louisiana is the second unhealthiest state in America. So I was dealing with patients who are 200 kilos, you know, not.
What's the first unhealthiest? Is it West Virginia?
Mississippi.
Mississippi, okay.
Yeah. So, and what was I going to say about that? Oh, I would have patients who were very overweight. I know it's called binge eating, but I can't stop till I totally feel you. I deal with that as well. We can talk about that if you message me. So, it was such a great learning experience for me, because I had patients who were very large, whose labs were okay. you know, no cholesterol, no high blood pressure, no fasting glucose was normal. I mean, you know, on the whole, there seems to be that larger people do deal with some other, you know, health issues.
Yeah.
But I also wonder how much of it is that they are prone to those illnesses and how much of it is that they're getting worse health care. Because I don't know what it's like in Turkey, but in America, if you go to a doctor for an issue and you're overweight, they almost always make it about your weight.
Yeah.
This is because you're overweight. Lose weight and come back. You know, you have a tumor or something. Oh, they like, I mean, we know that you get worse health care as an overweight person. And there are people who, you know, have tumors or whatever, and the doctor didn't even notice these things because they just chalk it up to their weight and stuff. So,
yeah. Also, I think going back to the thing you said about people who are slightly overweight who might end up living longer lives, that, I mean, I'm thinking this is just like, you know, hypothetical, but, you know, trying to stay thin, or, you know, like always like battling with some sort of a diet and like thinking about this. I actually wrote an article about this on orthorexia nervosa. We actually talked about this. Do you remember?
Yes.
And this really puts so much stress on your like bodies and on your mind. Like, for example, like, you know, I've had a period a couple of years ago where I lost like a lot of weight. Like I went to a dietitian in Turkey. I followed, you know, the lean meat, you know, lean protein, blah, blah, the boring diet. And I lost like 8 kilos. And after that, you know, I became like, yes, I was very thin. Like I was like 8 kilos, like less than I am now. And, but the thing is, I found myself really like looking like this at the scone, at the poğaça. Okay. I was like it's something I would never eat, you know, like I felt like so much like hatred towards that like piece of like freaking poğaça. And I was like, why do I hate, like, it stresses me out, you know? It just totally like stresses me out.
Totally stresses you out. Stress is bad, right? Cortisol goes up in your body. That makes you gain weight. Totally agree. One of the things I like to say to my clients is, you know, as weight loss gets harder and harder as you get closer to a weight that's more comfortable for your body. If you have more weight to lose, it can be easier than if you have 7 pounds to lose, right?
Yeah.
So I like to say, you know, those last 7 pounds or 10 pounds, those are the happiness pounds. Like those are the pounds. Do you want to go out with your boyfriend and have a glass of wine and, you know, share a piece of cake? Do you want to go with your girlfriends and go on a trip, which we can't do anymore, and get like the most delicious fried calamari? And I mean, those are those last few pounds for a lot of people. So I think, you know, really strict diets and, you know, doing this cert for like, how are your friends going to feel if you wouldn't do the cert diet when you go to Italy, right? I mean,
yeah, and I feel like Sirtfood Diet, I mean, it's good that we're going back to that to wrap things up. I think the fact with Sirtfood Diet is something, yes, people could do right now because they're like not going out to restaurants, so like not socializing as much, you know. So it's like it's maybe doable now, but like it's not sustainable.
100%. Yeah. You put it perfectly. I mean, you need to be able to live your life. I mean, your diet should fit into your life. You shouldn't try to be fitting into the diet, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, find what works for you, I guess, would be my eat more vegetables. That's my big thing.
And respect others around you. Don't comment on their weight, especially if you don't know them on social media. That's just bullying, man.
I know. I know, it's so gross. Why do we do that? I don't know what the psychology is behind that of like, you know, trolling people or whatever. I guess it's just miserable people and Turkish people, if someone's gained weight, they know they've gained weight. They don't need you to tell them they've gained weight.
And we all have gained weight. So once we see each other when we're like back on the streets, let's talk about something else, you know?
Totally. Yeah. Just like, you know, be happy to see your friend, give them a hug. I mean,
and be chill with Adele. Be chill with Adele. Yeah,
totally.
We respect you, Adele. We respect you, girl.
100%.
Esen, this was so much fun.
I know, I had so much fun.
We could even do like a specific session on like gut health or, you know, plant-based diets, because I feel like there's so many things we can talk about.
Yeah, we could do, you can just have people like send all their questions too, and I could just answer those as well, because it looks like we got some questions. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much. And if you guys have, if you guys have any like specific questions, you can follow Eat with Esen. Let me put your Instagram here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Thanks,
all my friends are amazing.
This was so fun. I feel like I could talk to you all day. I'm like,
yeah, thank you so much everyone who watched. And Türkçe sorunuz varsa da Türkçe bu garip oldu. Türkçe sorunuz varsa da yazabilirsiniz. Ben onları sonra cevaplamaya çalışırım.
Yani Türkiye'de de biraz daha çok vakit geçirdikten sonra Türkçe'de de yapabiliriz bir tane.
Evet. Biz böyle hani Esen rahat etsin istedik. Önemli olan o. O yüzden de eğer anlamadığınız bir şey varsa, kafanızı karıştıran bir şey varsa lütfen yazın. Her zaman cevap veriyorum DM'lere ben de. Esen de verir.
Ben de.
Teşekkür ederiz sizlerin için Esen'cim. Öpüyorum. Harika bir gün geçir.
Love you.
Görüşürüz. Bye bye.
Görüşürüz.
Bye.
Bye bye.